What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to DriveHub, and in today's video, the Corvette is getting its first oil change. They grow up so fast. Now, in all of my cars, I like to change the oil myself. I do it in my Jeep Wrangler, I do it in my old Z28 Camaro, and the C5 Corvette, the newest addition to the family, is going to be no different. And I do this job myself for a few reasons. One, it's cheaper, but second and most importantly is I get to control the quality of the job. I know the oil is actually being changed, and they're not just throwing my car up on the lift, keeping it in there for 10-15 minutes, and then bringing it out to me and saying, yep, the oil was changed, good job, have fun. Because I like to ensure that my vehicles all live long, healthy lives, except for the Z28 that already blew a motor. That wasn't my fault though. Now, one more great benefit of changing your own oil at home is that you get to choose the brands of oil and filters that you're gonna put into your car. If you go to the dealership, they're gonna use what they always use. They're gonna use OEM stuff. You pay a little bit more, so this is cheaper, and you get to pick your own brand of equipment. Now, on the C5 Corvette, oil changes are a little bit differently. A lot of people do it themselves at home to save money, like I said, and to control the quality, but sometimes when people do it at home, they don't do it properly. And this is especially true for the C5 generation of Corvettes. And the main reasons for this is, one, the oil drain plug is actually located on the front of the oil pan instead of the rear like most cars. So that means the car actually has to sit at a downward incline so that you can drain all the oil out of it. So this means people think they're gonna go home and change their oil on their C5 Corvette, so they jack up the front of the car like they do in a regular routine oil change, and they drain the oil out. Well, what they don't realize is they're not draining out all of the oil. The second reason is because of the C5 Corvette's batwing configuration of the oil pan itself. Sometimes it takes a long time for all of the oil to completely drain out of the engine. Now, this is a very important thing, because if you don't drain out all of the old oil and you do this constantly in the same routine, then you're just keeping old bad oil circulating through your engine, and it's probably not going to live very long. So the C5 Corvette has to be drained for a little bit longer than other cars do. Now, the oil that we're going to be using in my Corvette is Mobil 1 5W30 synthetic oil. This is what GM recommends right on the engine compartment itself. It says for the Corvette, Mobil 1 synthetic 5W30. Corvette engineers know a lot more than I do. I'm gonna trust what they use. This is the oil that every Corvette coming off the assembly line uses, so I'm gonna trust it with my car. And I have higher miles on my Corvette, a little over 100,000, and I don't want to be messing with other oils and screw something up. There's one of these in the National Corvette Museum with 700,000 miles on it. I want mine to be able to make it there one day. Now, the filter I'm going to be using is an AC Delco PF46E. This is the original oil filter, but this one is actually different. Some of you Corvette guys might know that it used to be PF46. There was no E involved. E is the updated version. GM actually put out a bulletin that I read that said when they were getting rid of the PF46, it was going to become the PF46E. It's just an updated version. And again, I didn't want to mess with aftermarket brands for this. I wanted to stick with what came on this Corvette from the factory, because I want this car to last. And this next item is not required. This is a magnetic oil drain plug. This helps capture any little metal particles that might be loose when you drive your car. When you go to change the oil, they'll be stuck to the end of this. And it's really cheap insurance. This is $3, and it's really good peace of mind. And again, I'll include a link for all this stuff down in the description below so you can check it out. So first things first, we're gonna start up the Corvette. We're gonna let the engine oil warm up a little bit, because warm engine oil has less viscosity than cold oil does. This means it's gonna flow out easier when we do go to drain it. Temperature's coming up, but this should make it come up a little bit faster. So what we're going to do now is jack the Corvette up into the air. Remember, I said we're going to want the front to be a little bit lower than the back is, so I'm going to jack up both sides, get the back a little bit higher than the front is, and drain out all the oil. right, so now the Corvette is jacked up in the air and secured. We're gonna go in here, pop the hood. I'm gonna come over to the passenger side and loosen the oil cap. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and take it right off. And then we're also gonna pull it out of the dipstick tube, and that way the oil will flow a lot more easily when we go to drain it. Now we'll get our catch can under there. I have some cardboard under there because I am a klutz and I somehow end up always missing the catch can. So here's the oil filter right there. The drain plug is right up here. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen that up with our 15mm wrench we have here. Make sure the catch can's under there, and we'll drain out all the old oil. Got the new filter. I put a little bit of oil around the edge on the rubber O-ring. Now we're gonna thread it back on. Now that the oil is to intermittent drops, now we can go ahead and put in the new magnetic drain plug. Now we can go ahead and put in our new oil. Now the Corvette manual says that this will hold 5.5 quarts. It's actually more like 6.5. I put in 6 quarts. You got to figure the filter itself holds about half a quart. So I put in 6 quarts, and that puts the oil level just below the full line on the dipstick. Now we're gonna jump in the car while it's still in the air, start it up, and make sure there are no leaks. Now to reset your oil life, turn the Akita on, let the Corvette do its thing. Go over to trip, press trip until it cycles through oil life remaining. Normally it shouldn't say 100%, I already did mine, but all you do is hold reset for 2 seconds and it should show 100%. All right guys, so after you've let the car warm up for a little bit, make sure you check underneath, make sure there's no leaks or anything, make sure you've got everything tightened back up as it should be. Check your dipstick, make sure it's full of oil. That's what she said. Does that one work there? Again, I'll include a link for all the supplies that I used today, including the oil, the filters, and the drain plug down in the description below so you can check it out. And now you can get your C5 on the ground and go out and enjoy it. So I will see all you guys in the next video. Happy motoring.